friends. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Ace Tutor Point. Today we'll go through science education, that is microteaching and lesson planning. It also comes in science. So, a complete guide to microteaching skills, the teaching cycle, and effective lesson planning for classroom mastery. So early we had gone through micro teaching, but again we are repeating this micro teaching as a very important topic, and we are going through science education. So micro teaching is what? Is a scaled down teaching encounter, a smaller class of students, a shorter lesson time, and one narrow teaching skill practiced under controlled conditions. It gives a trainee teacher the chance to learn, practice, and refine a single teaching skill in a low risk, safe classroom environment before facing a full class. So, how scholars define micro teaching? So, a teaching technique giving trainees the chance to apply teaching skills in a controlled situation on a small scale. A scalable teaching process reduced in class size and class time. A system of controlled practice that lets a teacher master one interactive skill at a time. An active technique for developing several teaching skills, questioning mode, and non-verbal nouns. A simplified, controlled encounter that reduces teaching time and class size. A program that helps a teacher master one skill at a time before moving to another. Characteristics of micro teaching: scale down encounter, smaller class, that is 5 to 7 students, and shorter lesson time 5 to 10 minutes. One skill at a time. Training is focused and simplified around a single teaching skill. Controlled practice. Teaching happens under carefully controlled, distraction free conditions. Immediate feedback. Trainees receive prompt, specific feedback right after teaching. Repeated practice. The cycle of teach, feedback, replan, reteach builds mastery over time. Old approach versus new approach, that is traditional training versus micro teaching. In traditional training, emphasis on trainee attitudes, not sharp skills. Teaching models rarely demonstrated live. No real classroom skill observed beforehand. Feedback is general, not skill specific. Long unstructured practice periods. In micro teaching, builds real observable classroom skills. Trainee watch effective teaching models first. Trainee observe lessons before starting. Feedback is precise, immediate, and actionable. Short, focused practice with rapid repetition. Why micro teaching matters? In experienced trainees are expected to perform a variety of pedagogic activities in front of a large community class, often before they understand the complex behavior those activities required. Microteaching removes that pressure. It clarifies each issue among academicians and trainees. So the important of the skill, not the fear of the classroom, takes center stage. Removes inferiority complex before facing a real class. Builds self confidence and self respect. Overcomes weakness through peer and mentor support. Develops teaching skills with video recorded feedback. The micro teaching cycle is: teach, trainee teaches a micro lesson to a peer group observed by a supervisor, that is of 5 to 10 minutes. Second is feedback. Supervisors and peers give focused feedback via a video recorder or pre-format observation. Third, replan. Trainee reorganizes the lesson 12 to 15 minutes addressing the feedback received. Fourth is reteach. The revised lesson is taught again to a different comparable group of students. Fifth last is feedback. A second round of feedback confirms improvement in the target scale. Benefits of teaching, that is micro teaching. Sharper inspection. Training gain a more realistic, effective view of classroom teaching. Goal oriented. Practice stays focused and effective rather than scattered. Guided growth provides structured guidance before entering a real classroom. Peer learning. Experienced teachers reflect and improve alongside novices. Self-awareness. Introspection helps teachers recognize their own strengths. Skill transfer. Skills learned transferred directly into real classroom behavior. Limitations of microteaching: administrative, equipment, supervisor training, and educational. What is lesson planning? Lesson planning is the key to success in every area of life, the comprehensive process that makes long-term and short-term teaching work as effective and specific as possible. Bossing. A lesson plan is an organized statement of general and specific goals achieved by the learner under the guidance of the teacher on a given day. Binding. Defining objectives and arranging subject matter. Bossing. Determining the method and procedure for daily lessons. Characteristics of a good lesson plan: clearly states objectives in written form, keeps the child's age, interest, and knowledge in mind, uses appropriate reference literature and study material, accounts for individual differences among students, understands objectives gradually, coherent, continuously, specifies procedures, methods, and approaches clearly, suggests techniques for effective teaching learning, makes rich use of audio-visual aids. Benefits of lesson planning: objectives remain clear from the start. Teaching stays within context and prepares properly. Gives a chance to define behavior, that is change goals. Behavior change goals can be used as a study reference later. Individual differences can be taken into account. Educational materialism, coherence, and continuity. There are three levels of science planning: annual planning, long-term planning that maps the whole year science curriculum, keeping national programs and priorities in mind. Second is unit planning. Mid-term planning without unit division organizes a coherent block of related lessons and activities. Third is lesson planning, that is short-term day-to-day planning of free lessons, the most detailed and immediate level of planning. The core micro teaching skills that already I have discussed early, that is set induction, stimulation variation, closure of lesson, silence and non-verbal cues, fluency in questioning, reinforcement, probing questions, higher order questions, divergent questions, recognizing attending behavior, illustrating with examples, planned repetition, using audiovisual aids, blackboard work, teacher explanation, promoting group discussion. The art of asking questions, that is structure, linguistically pure, short, clear, and coherent. Grammar and language must be correct and concise. B is process, that is presented sequentially to the whole class, giving all students a fair chance to think and respond. C is outcome. The students' response to the question gestures can focus attention and make presentation effective. Effective questioning, the do's, that is right speed and voice, ask at the reasonable steady pace and audible gentle voice, not too fast or too slow. Emphasize keywords, stress the important words in every question so that class focus on the heart of it. Allow silence. Pause after asking. Give students real time to think before calling on anyone. Sequential and logical. Keep questions brief, sequential, and linguistically pure. No unnecessary words. Avoid two questions. Questions that should be avoided. That is, echo questions, repeating your own statement right back as the question. Guessing questions, that is, speculative questions with no real answers to check, like predicting a distant future population. Embarrassing questions, that is, sensitive topics that make students feel awkward and or unresponsive in a class. Suggestive questions, questions that hint at the answer within themselves. No, yes, no questions, questions answerable in one word given no space for real thinking or discussion. The skill of fluency in questioning, what it means, the ability of a teacher to elicit maximum correct answers to meaningful questions, asking short, clear, relevant, and linguistically pure questions within a limited frame. Stafford University, 14 skill counts across studies, 18 Borg case method, and in 22 Vadodara University, Gujarat. Last is the key takeaways of this session. That is, micro teaching narrows a class of 5 to 10 students and one skill into a controlled, low risk practice space. The 5-phase cycle: teach, feedback, replan, reteach, feedback turns practice into permanent skill. Good lesson planning is a comprehensive written blueprint, never rigid, always flexible. Skillful, fluent questioning, short, clear sequence drives every effective classroom lesson. Thanks for watching. Master micro teaching skills one lesson at a time. Please like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Hope you have learned something new and will come with another topic in another session. Till then, keep learning and keep growing. Bye.